I wanted to touch a bit today on the topic of Europe, the Eurozone, and the problems, the economic problems that have been created there. This past week, the Merkel of Germany and Sarkozy of France came out and said they have to redo their charters, basically. They actually have a charter, but none of the countries followed it. That's why they've gotten in this economic mess. What's interesting is now they're going to try to redo that. And all along, the heads of state of the various European countries have been saying, we're going to fix it, we're going to take care of it. Now it appears that that is not the case, at least in late November of 2012 as we look at it here. If we look at where the situation is right now, Greece is obviously bankrupt and in a mess, a big mess. Portugal has already gone under. Spain is on the brink. Its euro bonds are going up into the danger zone. In other words, the euro bond is the money, and the interest that it takes to borrow money in order to operate. Italy is already in the danger zone, so you have Spain and Italy. We heard earlier in the week that some of the banks in France are in trouble. And then yesterday we hear that Belgium is rapidly approaching the threshold of becoming insolvent. So at this point it's almost appearing that there's the only country that may be totally stable might be Germany, and then the smaller Scandinavian countries to the north, which really don't really matter in this. Their economies are so small. Now what this all says is that basically governments have not been able to control. It all stems back to the 2008 crisis, where the government started borrowing heavily in order, just like in the United States, in order to remain solvent. But it's showing that the governments, in order to do that, have not been able to control the crisis. And it appears at this point that unless they do something very dramatic, which doesn't appear to be the case, the inevitable will happen, which will be a very strong recession. Now, China has basically said they won't bail out Europe, and Mr. Obama probably wants to and will make some sort of effort to do so, but it will be so politically unpopular here that it's doubtful that that would be the case, that he would get support for that. So what we're again seeing is the increasing obsolescence of government and its inability to deliver on some of the fundamentals of what it was supposed to do. And if Europe in fact goes down, then we also saw that Chinese manufacturing has gone down in the past week or two, that it's beginning to decline. Certainly Europe consumes a lot of Chinese goods, and with that consumption going down, or with them not being able to pay, then of course China would be affected as their manufacturing sector goes down. So again, what it's showing is that governments, in a very real sense, are becoming increasingly obsolescent, at least the governments in the form that we're used to seeing them, and that the individual citizens have to take their own initiative, look at their own position, and sort of bunker themselves down to defend themselves from the at times it appears outright lies that governments try to purport on its citizenry, saying things are fine, we're going to take care of it. Like we're seeing in the U.S., we're told things are fine, we're going to take care of it, and yet I'm here in Houston, Texas, and people are saying the recession is hitting in full bore here, yet the federal government says, well, we're not really in recession, we're doing fine. Again, the overall global picture is that governments, as we know them, are increasingly becoming dysfunctional, obsolete, and need to be rechanged, reformed, remodeled, reorganized. And if that doesn't happen, then it looks like we're going to go into some sort of worldwide economic crisis within the next 6 to 12 months.